And we proceed through chapter 3 apace. All right, we're in chapter 3.3, getting into types of culture. All right, so we have high culture. And this is the pattern of cultural experiences and attitudes that exist in the highest or elite class segments of society. Um, these are interesting concepts, mostly because nobody actually, we no longer really privilege high culture. We kind of now acknowledged that just because something is existing in the highest or least class segments in society doesn't necessarily mean that it's good, right? Just because the rich folk can do it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best thing in the world. A really great example of this actually would be Shakespeare. At the time that Shakespeare came out, when he was first starting, he would have been popular culture, not high culture. There were a lot of people back when he was writing who would have been horrified to go to a Shakespeare play because that was the entertainment of those masses, dirty, poor people, right? So that gets us to popular culture. And popular culture is the pattern of cultural experiences and attitudes that exist in mainstream society. So this is the stuff that most of us interact with, right? This is television, music, books, all of that kind of thing. It's what most people are interacting with. It's the stuff, right? So those are the two big ones that I want you to know from this section. We also have two different types of subgroups of cultures. So we have the idea of a subculture, which we're going to learn more about. And this is a smaller cultural group within a larger culture. That's it. That's literally all it is. So say within the larger culture of America, there can be a smaller cultural group of, say, video gamers. That's a subculture. Super easy. We also have counterculture. Now, counterculture is a cultural group which rejects some of the larger group's norms and values. And what do I mean by rejects their norms and values? Some of the best people that we can use for this are like preppers, right? So some of these preppers who live off the grid, have absolutely no contact with larger society. That's really counterculture, right? They're really leaving society behind entirely. They have no interest in participating. Whereas, say, video games, our previous example, you're still participating in the larger society. You're just also participating in a subculture within that society. So that's the difference between sub and counter. And then finally, we have the idea of diffusion. And this relates to the process of the integration of cultures into the mainstream. And it's something Americans are very good at, actually. We love finding new stuff from around the world and integrating it into our culture. We're going to be doing some examples of this week and learning more about things like anime and how that got over here. But there's tons of examples for this. Think of anything that just wasn't originated in in the United States of America that we do as a cultural thing. And that's a lot of stuff. The world is quite small now. So those are the ideas from this section that you need to be aware of.